To start class today, because we've been seated a lot, we'll start standing if you don't mind. So as you make your way back to your yoga space, let's just take it easy. No expectations here. We're just kind of moving. I am under the assumption that you may have just bounced up from your workspace right into yoga. So in honor of our bodies, let's just take a second to move around a bit, maybe looking down at our toes, looking over to a side wall, kind of stretching open in the front body and then open in the back body. I like to lift my balls of feet, kind of rocking forward and back here, shifting weight from front foot to back foot, and then I'll switch. Really nice just to kind of stroll around with no goal in mind, just kind of taking a little cruise around our yoga spaces. Coming into a sense of softness, establishing some grace and some ease today. As you find yourself to stillness, we'll begin with our feet just about our hips width or a little wider distance. Take a big sweep of the arms skywards. Open fingers. We'll put a little jazz into our hands right away. Give me a wiggle with some dynamic energy in your fingers. Kind of like you're trying to brush sand off your hands or fingertips, just moving them all around until they get a little toasty. Take a big in-breath while you're stretching open in your stomach and your torso. And as you exhale, release. Your fingers may have gotten tired fast. It's okay. We'll give them a little shake down low. Flap them around a bit. Shake loose from your shoulders down to your fingertips. Nice. If your thumbs bother you when you do that, just tuck them in a little bit and give them another little shake out. Let's start tiny today. We'll roll our shoulders up, back, and down, keeping arms low. At most, maybe bend your elbows to begin opening. But as we move, yogis, we're going to try to pull shoulder blades together, push chest forward. And then as you bring the shoulders forward, think about squeezing your chest and opening your back body. So we have a really movementful shoulder circle. When I roll my shoulders forward, I like to bend my knees and come into that little hunkered position, trying to open through the back. Going backwards feels a little better than going forward, right? So we'll try forward in a moment once we get warmer. Let's make these a bit bigger. Don't change anything except for your elbows. We'll start to bend them and open them around if you haven't yet. When you open your chest, you notice that your breath comes so much more naturally. So we're thinking about widening our chests, lifting, opening front to back. Bigger if you can, maybe reach skywards. Soften back and down. And as you start to progress and make the movements bigger, if you run into resistance, let's say I felt something right here, I might just kind of like pause and work out that arm. Maybe I wanted to give it a little rub and then continue. Always finding what works for you, pausing where you need, lingering where it feels great. And then we'll try some forward circles, just itty bitty to start. So let's come arms down. Same practice here. Open chest, open your back. And if it feels okay, make them a little bigger. Option to move one arm at a time too, especially with these forward circles if they feel really awkward to you. Just about 4 more here. I got a big crack in my shoulder, so I'm just gonna kind of stay there and massage that out a little bit. And then I'll meet you back here for 2 more. Well done, my friends. Sweep arms high again. See if things feel any looser or warmer. What you're experiencing is unique to you. Clasp around your low back, palms clasped, knuckles stretched down. Lift up and out of your chest for a big breath in. Scoot your chin to the sky. Open your throat. Reaching back to the sky, but bring eyes forward again. Clasp your hands overhead and flip your palms skywards. Let's try to get our pinky fingers and our thumbs to pull down towards our scalps as well. They want to get lazy, don't they? That's all right. We're going to work on opening the inner palms wrists and forearms here. And then clasp those palms behind your head, pressing back a little bit like what we were just doing. As we press our skulls back and widen our elbows, we shine our hearts forward. Then we'll bring elbows around the ears, tuck chin to chest and roll down. We're still standing, yogis, but we feel this awesome tug between the shoulder blades. Inhale, press back like a cow. And then exhale, round in. Now you might like to tuck your tail a little bit like we do in our cats and see if you can work into your low back as well. Let's try 4 more. Inhale, press away. How wide can you become? Good work. Exhale, tuck in. And just as we're gonna linger where we want, we're also going to move honoring our breath today. So as we connect with breath, we could be a lot faster or slower than anyone else we may see on our screens today. Oh, feels good. All right, 1 more, and then we're gonna lean back and hold our cow-like posture. Wide elbows, head back. Try to lift your navel. Can you widen your navel, excuse me. Breathe into your belly. See if you can create space in the front of your stomach. Awesome job. Back to me, yogis. Really straight and long now. No back bending here. We're going to lift up, soften your knees, plant your feet squared, find the 4 corners. Just take a little tip to your left side. Did you crack it all? I cracked a bunch in my something. I couldn't tell if it was my ribs or my shoulders. It felt really good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 1 way. Don't worry about moving with the same breath IQ, just reminding you to breathe there. We're gonna go 1 more each way and then make these a little bigger as well. Oh, it's nice. Okay, stretch to the ceiling, big breath in. Right hand finds your hip. We definitely want to bend our knees here. And then as we stretch to the right, we might use our right hands for a little assist, moving deeper into the outer hip to stretch. Now remember, your eye gaze is really important to help your neck stretch. We want to be gentle with it. So looking where it feels good, you might be looking down at times, forward or up. I invite you to play with that and see how it changes your experience. Through the center we go, stretch long. Left hand finds the hip, soft knees, a little self-assist as you reach to your right. Moving around through the eye gaze may enhance the experience you have in your neck. 1 more big breath in, back to the center. Well done. Float your fingertips down towards the floor. You might even like to put them on your thighs and swipe them down your legs, just for a little stimulation. Once we get to forward fold, we're gonna hang as heavy as we can. Allow your chin to tuck up towards your chest, the back of your neck to be wrinkle-free. We'll keep our knees as bent as we need to honor our back bodies, how tight they're feeling today. Might justify a really deep knee bend if you're experiencing a lot of sensation in the back of your legs. Hanging out, quite literally, we're gonna rock our weight side to side. Think about putting weight in the right edge of your foot and then the left blade edge. And do you notice the shift of sensation across the backs of your legs as you do? Taking that a little bit more into the low back by swiveling now around towards our baby toes. All the way around to that blade edge. Make a little C shape with your body. And usually I'll lift just a bit so I feel light in my arms, and then I just drag them around my toes. Coming to pause in the center when you've had enough of that. We're gonna drag our fingertips again, yogis, up the tops of your feet, over your ankles, move to the outer thighs so it doesn't get too weird. And then we'll drag them up just for a little stimulation. Drag them up your ribs, it might tickle, armpits, neck, even through your scalp. Doesn't matter what your hair looks like when you're done. Stretch up to the sky and bring arms down to shoulder height. Same reason, we're looking for stimulation, a little love for our bodies. Gonna take the left hand over to the right wrist, use your finger pads or nails and drag across your arm collarbones and then open. Right hand does the same, a little drag. Feels nice, doesn't it? A little tickly, but kind of good, yeah? Drag over, so good. One more, big, loving caress. Eyes forward, sweep to the sky. Holding on to your right elbow point. You could quite literally give yourself a pat on the back, hug that elbow point, and we'll try to hook the left forearm behind our skulls. If we're able to do so, we'll uplift our bodies and push back gently. Moving breath through the upper right arm. A little bonus side body stretch. If this feels good, but you're aching for more, we'll take a little tip to our left again. If you've put pressure into the low back, take eyes to left baby toes. Come upright when you're ready. Keep everything you have except for your left arm. We're gonna drop it down to try to find our right fingertips there. Can you get them? Okay, clasp your fingertips and then drop your left elbow. Try to hang really heavy. I like to move my arm. Did you see where it started? I like to move it back behind the head for a really big shoulder experience. Try to soften your jaw. This is an intense one. Breathe. If it's too much, you let go. Very slowly windmilling the arms twice. Right up, left down, take a big sweep. One more, big windmill. And next time we rise up through that left arm, we're gonna stay. Give ourselves that pat on the back for coming to yoga today. And then hold your left elbow point. Placing right forearm behind the skull, soft knees. Lengthen, press back. Optionally tipping to our right side for a little extra love. And if you compressed your low back, peek down towards your right baby toe. Coming up to the center, oh, that felt good. Just the right fingers fall. Try to wiggle, that's what I do so I can figure out where they are. Wiggle the left fingers behind your head. Clasp them with the right. Once you get it, then you'll tuck your little chicken wing down and try to scoot that left upper arm behind your skull. Big lift through the shoulder and then pull with a heavy right arm down. Sometimes this can get into your low back as well. So I would recommend in that case a little bend of your knees, a little tuck of your tailbone. See how if you stick your tailbone out, it can compress. If you tuck your tailbone, it might feel longer and looser in your low back. Two big windmills. Reach high with the left arm. Sweep to switch. Just another way to rinse out the shoulders when we're done. Okay, and then you ask yourself how you're feeling once the arms get low. And if you need any more shoulder release, you take it. Otherwise, my friends, we're gonna move into hips and feet and get this party started. Let's lift up through our left knees, at least the left hand hugging on. If you'd like to use both, we do. Give it a little release with your hug. And when you're ready, just the left hand will move it all around. Any way it feels good, out and in, up and down, maybe around. If you're off balance, find something to help you balance. And if it's hard to hold, you can just do this all on your own with a low leg. Here we go. We'll make this process very wonderful, unique to our bodies in the moments today. Come back to center. Hold your left heel towards your butt. Try to connect to your knees once you get a hold of your left foot. They want to poke out, right? So we'll draw in under hips bones and then reach upwards if you can. If you're holding something, don't let go. Reach up if you don't need a support, just to stand a little taller. Remember that tailbone tuck from a moment ago? Let's do it again. Tuck your tail down. Woo. Feel that? Left thigh. Breathe there. So nice. One more, big breath. That's a big muscle, so we need a little more time here. Let it go when you're ready. Soften down. Relax the right arm, and we're gonna lift up through that heel. Same leg, yogis. Let's use our left heel. Roll around to work into your foot and ankle here. See how soft you can get in those left toes? Want to try to remember to liberate our toes through class. Switch your ankle circling. So sometimes for balance, our toes might claw into the mat. Whenever you notice that's happening, congratulate yourself for being aware and mindful, and then soften and spread your toes. So nice. Relax that foot on down. Shake out the other leg. It worked hard standing on one leg there. And we'll scoop the right knee to our hearts when you're ready. Big lift. We are releasing the front of our hip by doing this. Using just your right hand, well, what feels good to you? I'm gonna start out and in. I like to do all of the stretches, so I'm gonna go up and down and around. You do what's right for your body today. Don't worry about what you did on the other side. Every leg is different. And when you feel a little jazzier in that right hip socket, you'll know it's time. Move into your quad stretch, heel to butt. When you get it, it sticks out, so we'll draw it back in. If you're not holding something for support, lift and lengthen through your left arm. Almost there, ready? Big movement here. Subtle shift, tailbone tucking down, but feels huge, doesn't it? Let's breathe where we notice sensation. One more big breath in. Nice work. Release through the leg. Oh, that was awesome. Put that foot flat, but then pick your right heel up right away. Unclench your toes. All right, now we're moving. Let's rock and roll through that right ankle. If you want, you can kind of move your upper body too. Why not get groovy with the moment? Switch your circling direction when you're ready. Just like in the shoulders, if you experience anything crunchy or weird or kind of a blocked energy situation, you could stay there, work out that spot, and then move through a few more times. How you feeling? A little looser? All right, let's let that go. Shake out both legs. We're moving out of stretching into our traditional yoga beginning. Sun salutations. Sweep your arms high to the sky. We are embracing this newfound cooler weather today. It feels like we can actually breathe a big breath again. On your exhalation, reach down to the floor. I like to spill, so I'm gonna tuck my chin, rolling like a rag doll. You are welcome to find a flat back and swan dive forward and down. Hang heavy, chin tucks in forward fold. Remember, you'll bend your knees as much as you need. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingers find the shins for support. We boost our collarbones wide and far from hip bones. Exhale, descend again. And slide or step your right leg all the way back. Let's find a kneeling lunge. Let the tops of our feet release. And scoot high, eyes upwards if it feels good. Reaching high, like there's something precious just out of your grasp. Opening your front bodies. Right arm reaches back towards the calf. You do not have to touch. Lift up towards your sky again with the left arm. Big breath in. We're gonna windmill down, yogis. Left arm will end up skywards though. Right arm will end up on the floor. Inside the left toes, we land, and then the left arm stretches skywards. So we're gonna try that a couple more times. Windmill back to where we just were. Sweep both arms as a beautiful windmill may move. Sweep forward, twisted lunge. Try twice more. Big inhale in one direction. Exhale the other way. Now, if you're on a really hard floor and that's bothering your back knee, feel free to tuck your toes, elevate your back knee, doing what feels best for our bodies. Pausing in the twisted lunge. Think about your right ribs turning to kiss your left thigh. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, release. Hands frame your left foot. Knees move together. We're kneeling, yogis. Back in tabletop. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees under hip bones, tops of feet flat to begin. Exhale and round your back. We're gonna hold our cat pose, but not our breaths, just our cat pose. As you breathe, play with this cat pose. We're gonna roll our ribs a little side to side. Tuck your eyes up towards your navel and your tailbones down. Spread your fingers wide, your knuckles flat. And as you make your way back to the center, we'll drop navel, holding cow pose, but not our breath. Keep that breath flowing and move a little here. I'm gonna sway right to left with my hips. Another thing I like in cow is to take the tailbone like a puppy dog and just wag it side to side. What do you feel when you do that? A little squeeze through the ribs towards your hips, yeah? Waking up your obliques. So anything that you can think of will be a good move if your body loves it. All right, let's go plain vanilla cat-cow. Come back up for cat, but we're gonna move with breath. So we exhale here. And as you inhale, tuck your toes for your cow. Exhale through your cat. Tuck your toes for cow. One more round. Try to use the full breath to find your way through the posture. Neutralize your spine, top to bottom is long, belly is lifted to support low back. We walk our hands forward and elevate our hips. Toes are tucked, we lift to downward facing dog. In this down dog, yogis, let's bend in slow motion. Bend your right knee and pause. Switch, left knee, bent, pause. Let your hips sway to one side. Moving faster now, alternating these knee bends. Feel the tug on your shoulder blades and through the outer hips as you let your hips get really sassy as you walk the dog. How about those fingers, my friends? Are they still wide? Are your middle knuckles attempting to engage by pressing down into the yoga mat? Slowly back to center, eyes look forward. We take a little tiptoe walk all the way to the tops of our mats. Big breath in, halfway lift. Let's take flight with the arms. They're gonna try to reach back behind us if you don't need them to support your lift. Remember, collarbones wide, pulling away from your hip bones. Inhale again. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg takes that long lunge back. Kneel to begin, unless it really bothers your knee. And if it does, you can also grab a support, or you can lift, you decide. Top of foot falls flat. Reach high to the sky. There's something that we really, really want up there. So we're gonna reach so high. Big breath in. As you exhale, left hand reaches towards your calf. Don't worry about touching it. Just reach away from the right fingertips. 2 windmills. The right arm reaches high, twisted lunge. Come on back. When you're ready, windmill backwards twice. Left arm down, right arm up. Forward windmills, finding our twisted lunge. 2 more rounds. Yogis, how about we connect to that breath again? Inhale in one direction. Exhale the other way. Inhale. And exhale. We're coming back to our tabletop, but this time some cat and cow involving the wrists. From that twisted lunge, slide right knee next to left, realign your joints, and swivel your left fingers to face your left knee. If that's too tough, don't worry, just move them out or in, just some new way. We're gonna try to slide forward and back, toes tucked or untucked, yogi's choice. As you slide back, we're stretching deeply into our wrist. So we do wanna try to keep the palm totally flat there. You might really like to pulse back. If you love a deep stretch, this one's for you. Breathe into that left wrist. Woo. Come over top the wrists again. Take 2 rounds of cat-cow when you're ready. Exhale, tops the feet flat. Inhale, toes tuck. Shine your heart forward. Eyes just to the wall in front of you. When you're ready to exhale, we switch. Inhale and switch. Coming back to center, neutral spine. Let's put the back of that hand down. Same hand, left hand. Just to give it a second to find a sense of softness again. Sometimes I'll wiggle my fingers or make a little fist. Not easy, but it feels pretty good, right? And we'll move to the other side when you're ready. Right fingers to knee or out and in, whatever feels great. Moving forward and back, keeping our palms totally flat. I like to tuck my toes if I go really far back so they feel like breaks. And I don't have to worry about going too far in that stretch because my toes are there to help me come back out. And you might enjoy pausing back or maybe even pulsing back. When you're finished with that, we'll come back shoulder over right wrist and find 2 rounds of cat and cow. Feet flat for cat, tucked under for cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Back through the center, the back of your hand comes flat. You just pause, or you can wiggle fingers, make a soft fist. Most importantly, we're counter stretching through the top of our wrist and forearm now. Now, you might still be a little tender, so let's take it easy, yogis. But when you feel ready, we're going to lift up to forward fold. So it's like a baby down dog. And then we'll find our way forward to the top edge of our mats and hang heavy. Soft knees, but you might notice now that you can lift your kneecaps a little higher towards your thighs. In your time, take a roll to rise. If you like that stimulation, you could drag your fingers back over your body. Go along the sides. Not trying to make it too weird here. And then we'll lift and lengthen. So nice. Exhale. So I'm going to show you the swan dive from earlier that I mentioned. Arms wide, flat back extension down, and then we release, forward fold. Halfway lift on your inhalation, big breath in. As you exhale, forward fold and toe heel or heel toe your feet wider than your hips width distance. Toes slightly turned out. Drop down through your hips, excuse me, any degree, yogis. It could be higher than knees or lower. Just for a breath. Inhale, shoulders up over the hips to the best of your ability. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Heels swivel behind the toes. Inhale, halfway lift, really active in your belly, wide in your collarbones and chest. Forward fold. Toes swivel back out, yogi squat. Hands anywhere. I'm going to use a little tented finger to increase the stretch on my inner thighs. One more round like that. Forward fold, heels behind toes. Next breath is your halfway lift. Breathing, releasing to fold. Next breath, your yogi squat. Toes back out. Pause for one more breath. Full exhalation here. Great job. We're going to keep our feet wide. Let's lift our hips to wide leg forward fold. Toes in front of our heels. Right leg, long step back. It's a lizard lunge. So now we're a little wider. I like to kneel my lizard. So you decide, lift it or not in the back knee. Take a second to just check in with your inner thigh. Ooh, it's a big one, huh? Maybe your fingers are on top of a support to elevate you. If you're feeling very open in your hips, you might like to dip lower. Could even be down on your forearms. A lot. I'm just kind of swaying around here, asking my hips kindly if they'll open a bit more. Excuse me. You're welcome to stay where you are, or we can also encourage the left knee to open. In doing so, we move our right hand over a bit to the right side. Left hand would push inside the knee. But be careful that your left ankle stays real strong so it does not look like a banana. Really strong underneath that knee to support the joints. Have a moment here to move around, to breathe deeply into your pelvic bowl. One more big breath in, your lizard lunge. And as you make your way back forward with the left toes, hands inside the left toes, we're gonna lift out of any kneeling lizards. Stepping forward again for yogi squat. Turn your toes out. You might have to readjust your feet a little bit, outside hips width distance. I'm gonna sit up a little higher in my yogi squat, and instead of using my elbows inside my knees, propping my forearms on my thighs. Might be fun to try a yogi squat you haven't done today or maybe ever before. And on your exhalation, forward fold. Toes in front of heels. Hang heavy for a breath to release. Left leg takes a long lunge back. We're staying wide, please. You kneel or not, lizard lunge. Just check in. Maybe you're gathering something for support to lift the upper body. Perhaps you're lowering down. Every side is different. Might feel a little or more, less open, you never know. Just be curious and observe. Sometimes if the stretch is intense, I like to do that. A big audible sigh, like just let go. Stay as you are or move open more in that right hip. You might want to stretch to the left a little. Right hand would gently press away on knee, but we're going to stay super flexed in that right foot for support in our joints. Taking our time here. If it doesn't feel great, move away and find something that does. If it feels, oh, so good, we can always stay longer. Making our way to our last yogi squat of today. Turn your right toes back forward if they're out. Hands underneath your shoulders. Elevate your left knee. And as you step forward, swivel toes back out. Drop it like it's hot. I don't know if you remember that one, but that was a big saying from a few years ago. Having teenagers, I think, brought that into my life somehow. Might have been a song, I'm not really sure. Take another big breath in. I'm just rocking side to side here. Checking out this squat. When you're ready, wide leg forward fold, heels behind the toes. Roll slowly so you don't get dizzy all the way back to standing. Take a big stretch up and overhead. Let's find some balance in our lives. Hands meet together at heart center. Jump in, a little hop or toe heel. I'm taking a gentle approach underneath your hips width distance. Let's lift up through our left legs. Flexed heel towards the ground. Ankle moves across the right thigh. And then we'll settle heavily into the hip. So I like to rest my hands on my thighs. And I use my hands and a heavy heart to sink down. Push back with your butt. So another thing you can do is come. If there's something near you you could use for support, you can press at shoulder height and really push away. The more you sit back, the more your left outer thigh and glute will go, thank you. Take a few breaths in here. If you are resting hands or forearms on your legs, try to soften your shoulders. Maintain a long, loose neck and a passive facial expression. Let's lift out of here, but keep your left leg lifted if you can. Big lift skywards. Exhale, fingers reach back behind you. Left toes step back behind you, but just a tap down. Option to stay as you are or float up with the left leg for airplane pose. Shift your body forward. Stretch your toes back. Long, dynamic fingers. One more big breath in. As you exhale, rise back up to your knee lift. Let everything float away, soften down. Remember that standing leg really works. So as you soften down, let it have a moment to shake, shake, shake free. Okay, you feel good? We're gonna stretch that one next, don't worry. Arms rise, right knee rises. Flex, heel pushing towards the floor. Cross over your left thigh. And we'll try to use the energy in our hip to move the right knee away. Hips sink down and back. Good work. Use that support near you. Yeah, I like your shoulders though to be really soft. So that's why I said hands at shoulder height earlier. We don't want to put them up high and then jam up the shoulders. As you sit deeper, if you're resting on your thighs, relax your shoulders. So I like to take my eye gaze down, engaging long vertebrae in the back of the neck. And as much as I'm breathing into my glute and right outer thigh, I like to breathe into those newfound spaces we made when we tucked our chins. Next exhale, can you sit any more? Inhale, light like helium, float your body back up. Stretch fingers behind you, tap your right toes behind you. Shift forward just a little. Make a good judgment call. Do you want to lift into airplane pose or does this feel beautiful? Let's do what's best for yourself today. Here's a great time to try to unclench something, especially if your left toes are clenching. Soften back down, reach, release, and then let go. Ooh, let all that spiciness out of your left leg. Excellent work, my friends. Let's get some more yummy hip stretches in our lives. Have a seat when you're ready. Just like we entered our practice, we're gonna come down really softly. Find something that's supportive. Maybe you're rocking around a little in your space. Once you've arrived on your back side, making feet wider than hips will enable us to tick-tock our knees without clunking them together. Think of this as like a windshield wiping rinse of your hip sockets. So nice. Love moving these hippies. Let's scoot our butts back, straighten our legs for a moment. Give your knees a little shake out, point and flex through your feet. Ooh, that's good. And then we'll sit really strong, like a capital L. Toes pull back towards your hips. All 5 toes on each foot are pulling back at the same time. Reach and lengthen. Inhale, connect with your breath here. And as you exhale, spill forward and down, taking a big stretch through the backs of our legs. Welcome to drop chin to chest, bow down, breathe back into that beautiful space in your neck. Let's try one more breath in here, and I promise we'll come back in between our hip stretches. Rolling yourself to rise as you begin to exhale. And once you make your way to seated, tuck your right leg in, tuck your left leg in front. Shins are crossed. If you feel pretty open in your hips, it may come quite naturally to you to cross ankle over knee. That's fine, whatever's good. So your left leg is in front or on top. Got it. Anchoring down through sits bones, we feel grounded. There's no flesh being pinched under there. Left hand slides out, soft in the shoulder. Reach up and over. Oh, it feels good on the sides. Plug down into right sits bone and really go for it. Just like we started, your eyes could look down, forward or up. What's best today? Sit up just a little bit, yogi. Stay where you are, though. Clasp behind your skull, and then move your elbow wide as your head pushes back just a little. Breathe into that squeeze in your right shoulder blade. Big stretch back to the sky. Hold over your left knee, one hand on either side, and then feel free to stretch out as long as you can. Remember that lazy cat stretch, like we're in a sliver of sunshine and we want to take up as much space as we can. Keep reaching out. Surrender when it feels great to you. When you're ready to make your way on, we're going to bring our hands about shoulder width to give ourselves a big helpful boost up, and then move them behind us. Fingers back, thumbs out. Think of uplifting your torso and then gliding everything forward, even your hip points and your knees. Very open, front to back and wide, side to side. If your head fell back, we'll tuck our chins to our chests, slide our fingers out towards the sides, and then lift our butts to slide them back, uncrossing legs, back in to that beautiful hamstring stretch. But this time we're gonna take the left leg on top. Ankles are crossed. We just have to be really aware of our right knees. A little micro bend there. Long sit, reaching skywards with a breath full of energy. Long lines of energy from fingertips to shoulder heads, tailbones to tops of heads. Now we fold over. Remember that right knee, okay? It wants to hyperextend here, so we're gonna be really soft. Reaching around to the sides of our mats for a little tug, holding on to our legs. Maybe we could reach our feet, just something to help us extend nose to toes. One more breath in here. And that same helpful press, hands about shoulder width. Give yourself a soft boost back to the sky. Uncross ankles and slide that left leg in first. Right leg in front, or right ankle on top of knee. Not if you have to crank it in place, only if it naturally lands there. Scoot sits bones away from knees. Slide long with the right arm to the right side. Stretch up with your left arm. Over as much as it feels good. We're gonna think here about anchoring left sits bone down and growing longer away from it. A line of energy from your left fingers to your left outer hip. Eyes looking where it feels best for your neck. Lift just a tiny bit up, clasp behind your skull, elbow moves wide, head pushes back. Re-stretch to sky and then fold yourself over your right knee. I like to try to twist my navel just a little towards that thigh. And then you're that lazy cat. You cannot get enough of this sunny spot that you found. Reach out and then soften down in surrender. Helping ourselves back to seated. Fingers swivel away from toes to support us. Think wide this time. Open shoulders. Open the back of your collarbones, the back of your ribs, inside your hip points. Breathe from left to right like you're painting stripes across your body. Sit up just a little bit so you can get your legs uncrossed. And then I just like to scoot back. So I'll scoot my butt back. Once you feel long, your toes are pulling towards your hips. We'll cross right ankle over left and being mindful, especially of that left knee with the extra weight on top. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release. there's anything that would help you get a deeper stretch, the sides of your mat, your legs, fingers on your sticky mat or holding your feet. Let's aim to tug the crowns of our heads towards our toes. Spending as much time as you enjoy, and when you're ready to move on, we'll take hands under shoulders and uplift our hearts. Uncrossing our legs, bringing our feet flat and knees bent, hold the backs of your thighs. Now we're lying long ways on the mat, so if you need to readjust in any way, let's do that now. Make sure there's no flesh under your tailbone, and we're just gonna super gently roll on back, taking our knees with us. So we have this beautiful hug, knees to chest, and then I like to move my hands to the shins so they don't get pinched. Let's take a rock side to side for our spines. If you have a pocket of tension in your back, this is a super way to help it begin to dissipate. I like a hand on each knee, and then I'll roll these awesome circles around. If you did circle with me, let's go both ways. And when you're ready, my friends, we're gonna take our knees over our hips, flex your feet, and bring shins parallel to the ground, allowing your arms to open wide with your palms facing the sky. Take a big breath in here and a full breath out. Dropping your knees to the left side just a little. We want to challenge ourselves here, but we want our right shoulders to remain on the yoga mat. We're using our side abdominals here. Rise on your exhale. And we're going the same to the right side. So we'll inhale, drop knees to a hover, left shoulder remains planted. Exhale, come back to center. Think like a tick-tock. Inhale, moving left. Exhale, centering. Really challenging to get out of there, isn't it? Inhale. Exhale. Adding on only if you'd like. As you drop your knees left, the right leg can extend long, rebend, and then re-rise. Same thing other way. Drop to the right. You could look away from knees for extra support and balancing. Left leg would extend, rebend, and rise. Option to continue or do both legs, yogis. Knees fall left. Both legs extend. Rebend, roll in. Are you still connected in your shoulder girdle? We're trying to work the core. Good work, yogis. Inhale right. Slow now. Both legs extend. Connect with your breath. Rebend. Exhale, center. Last challenging round. Do you want to pause? Pause. Do you want to extend your legs? Could you tick-tock like this? So you know all those other options are still available to you. Let's inhale and drop our legs to the left. You do what works for you. I'm gonna try to keep mine straight. I've gone a lot slower and I didn't make it very low. Exhale back to center. Mindful here, moving slowly. Inhale to the right. When you're ready to exhale, we squeeze back up to the center. Whoa, great job. Knees are wide now into our armpits. We are hugging our hands on our knees or our shins, letting our inner thighs have a moment to relax. Well done, yogis. I like to move my hands all the way to the inner thighs. I'm gonna hold my shins. My elbows are resting about inner thigh height, giving the legs a little extra weight to help them stretch. And then we'll start slowly alternating our inner thigh stretches. So let's bring hands to our thighs, or they could be kickstands under our knees. Left leg will extend to the left side. Just a little hold, and then rebend. Same thing with the right leg, extend. And rebend. We'll move here as it feels good, alternating those leg extensions. I moved my hand back into the inner thigh, to give it a little extra stretch. Rebend when you're ready, switch legs. Try both legs if that feels good. Remember, you can use the kickstand. I do like to try to tug the toes up towards the shoulders so that you get a little more stretch than if they hang out down low. And for my friends who need a 5-minute warning, it is 1:55. So if you need to head out of class a little early today, happy Friday. Thank you for practicing with us and have a wonderful weekend. One more breath in your reclined straddle pose. When you're ready, use hands on outer knees to close your legs. Oh, thank goodness. Bend your knees, toes wide, feet flat, knees steepling together. We're just gonna let our legs settle here for a moment. I like when I pause to put a hand on my belly and a hand on my heart and check in with my breath. You may enjoy a little tick-tocking here through your knees. I love these moments of holding yourself when you take your hand to heart and belly. Doesn't it feel loving and kind? That's why we're here, to nurture ourselves with breath and body work. Finishing up with a twist on each side. We'll keep these tick-tocks and eventually land your tick-tock to the left. Widen up your arms. Stay, or you could lift your left ankle and cross it to the outside of your right thigh. How's that feel? A little big, huh? Okay, then we want to get our spines long and shoulders wide. A little inchworming around may help that. And we'll move our eye gaze to the right. In your time, eyes back to the center. Uncross any ankles over knees and slowly swish to the other side. If you need a few tick-tocks, go ahead. Once you get knees to the right, making sure we feel long in our spines, wide in our shoulders. We might like that option of right ankle crossing to the outside of left thigh. And it's best if we can swivel through our entire spine from bottom to top. So when our eyes look to the left, we get to breathe into our neck twist as well. One more big breath in here. A full exhalation. Eyes to center, ankles uncrossed from knees. We roll back in. If you need to swish free, go for it. And when you feel pretty good, we'll close our heels under our knees and let our bodies roll to either side. Whatever feels best and most natural. Your head rests on the bottom upper arm. We have our top hand, we'll place it right in front of our heart with our palm down. Give ourselves a little boost to roll around the corner to tabletop again. Once we're in table, our toes will tuck and we'll shift hips back to heels, lifting knees. Find that crouching position where your thighs are hugging your calves. So I like to stay really low to allow body weight to work its magic here. Tension begins to magically disappear from the calves. Hips will rise on an inhalation, and we'll take that slow stroll skywards again. I'm opting to drag my fingertips for a little extra stimulation along the body, over the throat, even over the ears and the scalp. Love that. Inhale, arms high. And let's find our hands back down at heart center for the most important part. A bow of gratitude for our amazing bodies, for our will and determination to get to practice. I hope that you feel well. I hope that you are healthy. I hope that you find a sense of gracefulness from your practice, a sense of ease through the rest of your day. And you may even feel a little energized, a little bit more open and receptive, leading to increased productivity. So whatever you're experiencing, I hope it's a positive feeling. I am so grateful that you allow me to lead you. Namaste, yogis, meaning that my light treasures you. I cannot wait to see you again next week.